Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Kiy NY7. Hope everyone is doing well. Shout out to anyone that's new or possibly returning. It is Sunday. Some of us just want to get to heaven. Um, we got today for my spiritual Sundays, churches against MAGA legacy. So there's been a lot of pastors that have been speaking out, and I put finally confronting racism. There's a lot of people that have been waiting and wanting pastors to at least speak and preach on racism. So I'm going to take us back to Honorable Pastor Frederick um, Price and his son, and then we have some new people. And it's not just only MAGA; it's certain ideologies and things. So there's people speaking out more these days. But I remember the original person was Frederick Price. I'm this.
Followed the course that I did. And after all these years of ministry, now I'm finally coming around to talking about race, racism, and religion. And some people may say, well, my God, you know, all these years you have never said anything about it. Well, as I told you last time, God directed me to go in a particular way. And the spiritual things are more important than physical things. And the Bible principle is seek first the kingdom. Matthew 6:33. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all these other things will be added to you. But sometimes people are not always in position to do that. So you have to sometimes digress and come down to their level to bring them up to the level where you are. Because bottom line, everybody, black, white, red, brown, green, yellow, polka dot, or whatever, is going to finally have to come back to the principles of faith and learn how to live by faith. Because as I said last time as we close, even if racism disappeared overnight, you still have an enemy, Satan. And he'll still use whatever devices are available to him to destroy your life. And in order to stand against him and do it successfully, then you have to know how to live by faith. So that was the approach that God led me to. And I used the principles, and we've achieved this, and in my own personal life. And so I think when you get to a certain level spiritually, ethnicity should not make a difference. But as I pointed out, unfortunately, a lot of folk have not let God deal with their little personal prejudices. And though they say hallelujah and praise the Lord and dance and shout, they still maintain their little feelings of superiority and their views of inferiority about other people. And that is ungodly, it is not spiritual, and it's not biblically oriented, and it needs to be dealt with.
The KKK said they were Christians. There have been mass right beside each other. Now, if this makes you uncomfortable, I would invite you to pause for a minute and think about how uncomfortable this makes our people of color feel. And what I want to say to you is, if these quotes that Jesus defeated death so you can live by Charlie Kirk and Dr. King was an awful human being and civil rights was a huge mistake, if these feel incompatible, it's because they are. These quotes are not compatible with each other, and I also would like to say they're not compatible with the teachings and way of Jesus. And what you see in this moment, this week in American history, is you see the twisting of the truth. And this isn't new. The colonizers who came to America said they were Christians. The KKK said they were Christians.
So holding that thought, there are a lot of people that feel like the Bible's been tampered with to paint a certain narrative too. I put a question in the chat. I got a couple votes so far on it. I asked the question, do you feel religion and politics are connected? Um, okay, so far a couple people say yes. So that's 100% for yes. Earlier on, I didn't think so. There are some people that feel it shouldn't be connected. but they're feeling like pressured because of the times that we're in and the politics that have been going on. So there's people that feel like politically people are choosing sides and it goes along with religion too. The side you're choosing isn't just I got the mic behind me instead of in front of me. Is it what you choose? It says an open chat room too. Feel free to share your thoughts. I know a lot of people come in and they just kind of, I guess, take up space. I guess they feel that helps, but that's not supporting the channel. But if you find yourself to do that, click subscribe if you haven't already. Like, and it helps with chatting, whether you catch this live or catch the replay. Wondering how y'all feel about spirituality. Do you believe in spirituality or not? I do. I know it's real. But there's just a lot of things going on too that have to do with racism more and more. And I'm like, why is that coming into the whole thing? But a lot of people feel that the legacy that comes from Republicans and it says it's Christianity, it's got a label stamp Christianity, isn't quite that. So I figured we would finally get pushback from some black pastors, which we have. I'll probably just find some of them. Um, and I think we got to find our way, people, regardless of your race. You got to find your way. I've never seen so many false prophets in my life. I know y'all have seen it too. It doesn't matter if you're religious or not. You're seeing it and they're trying to shove it down your throat. There's about 20 of y'all in here now just to quiet. Don't be quiet when that time comes. The time is already here. If you love God, you believe in him, we got it's time for us to speak on him. Even if it's here and there, speak on it. If not, the devil is going to win. Those demonic spirits are going to come to you or come up out of you. You know what I'm saying? And wreak havoc or leave. We have ways to cast demons out. We can't just sit back and just let things just ride and think that, oh, we don't have a choice. That doesn't make any sense. So there's churches that are against MAGA. They are looking at it as this is America, making America great again, legacy, but they're feeling that they're falsifying things that are in Christianity, that are the right way to be, and they're using it in the name of God. I rebuke anyone that uses the name of God in vain, uses it improperly, incorrectly. You know what I'm saying? So regardless, racism or whatever it is, it's gotta go. It's gotta go, you know. So, and sometimes when you speak too much truth on here, the numbers show too, but that's okay because the numbers gonna show when the time is right. I'm going to show another pastor on here. I'm not familiar with them, but I just want to show some highlights on pastors and what they're saying. I'll come in with some commentary on moving forward.
Black church understands the power of black theology and liberation theology, and he cannot lecture me. Yes, sir. If you want to talk about demons and dragons and what Trump represents is the Antichrist. And they're against everything that we stood for. When you try to tell us that Project 2025 is from the Lord, I'm telling you it's straight from hell. Black church understands the power of black theology and liberation theology, and he cannot lecture me. Yes, sir. If you want to talk about demons and dragons and what Trump represents is the Antichrist. And they're against everything that we stood for. When you try to tell us that Project 2025 is from the Lord, I'm telling you it's straight from hell. Black church understands the power of black theology and liberation theology, and he cannot lecture me. Yes, sir. If you want to talk about demons.
So just seeing a pastor there too that doesn't feel like leadership can come from any area of hate either, which is part of why we do have black people that do back Trump in some of Trump's ways. I personally do agree with some things that Trump is doing. So some people it's hard to admit or even see anything good he's doing. And I see why, because it's a lot of other things in the way. Some he puts there and some have been placed by other people. Someone mentioned on YouTube recently, maybe I can find it. There was a man that's well known. He came on and said, how come there's nobody black at Trump's rallies? Let me see something. No blacks. Was it Ricky Smiley? I'll find that, but that's not what we need right now anyway. But I just came across it a little while ago, and it was interesting that he said that because it was a dang, what is his name again? I'll find it. It was somewhere in here, and I was gonna show it, but I was also gonna speak to it too. There are people that are black that are Republican. There are people that are black that are not Republican but back Trump. But you're not going to see a big MAGA hat on the head. You're not going to see a whole bunch out there because there's other barriers that restrict people, a lot of people of color, from showing themselves because there's a lot of nonsense and mess going on too that they know, and I know too, that no one of color should be even going for. So you look stupid, you look lame if you're just like, yeah, I'm just everything they saying, everything. You agree with some of it, but coming out in a certain fashion is going to make you seem and appear to be like you're in agreement with everything or a lot of things that Trump is doing, and that's not true. So I think that's more, at least from my view of it, that's why a lot of that is has happened at least. I want to show another one. This is through Historical African channel right here.
Not optional. Don't call yourself a Christian. That we believe is because of that, racism is sin. It's not optional. Don't call yourself a Christian if you think you're better than somebody else. That's what I just read. Don't call yourself a Christian. Because racism is not a skin issue, it's a sin issue. Racism is actually a form of idolatry. It says, I know better than God, and I can choose who's good and who's not. No, you're not. You can't do that because you're not God, and I'm not God. And so we in this church reject all bigotry, all white supremacy. We reject all prejudice. We reject all racism.
Now that's great. Even speaking on it is making a difference. Very few white pastors have spoken on racism at all, that we are aware of, right? I will say, and hello, peace to the chat too. I will say this too, even with all of this, this is good. This is making efforts forward, at least trying to say like, hey, you know, we got diversity on this planet and we can't be racist against each other. Just can't do it. Can't be racist against black people. You can't do it. They're people of God too. My thing too is, when are we going to start seeing churches diverse? You show me a church where there's all different races. You'll barely be able to show it to me. Don't show me Joel Osteen. He's more of a motivational speaker. I discredit where discredit is due. I'm not trying to go against a man of God. If they are truly a man of God, it's just how you go about it and what I know of you. So I go about that. I don't know about y'all, but I can't listen to people just tell me things. I need to see it. You can tell me you're not racist, but can you just be it? We have people being prosecuted for not giving enough donations. The churches have been going upside down. What I did like about this pastor right here, I'm going to skip forward. I think it's like at 17 minutes in. He actually says he's got a plan and he wants to meet with other pastors, and they're already planning on having like a huge retreat in efforts to discuss things that have to do with racism and getting rid of it.
I mean, it's a church that's bigger than China. It's bigger than India. It's bigger than China and India put together. And it is our purpose to model how people of all different kinds of backgrounds come together and fit together. And we're going to keep modeling that. The unity and diversity, the dignity of everybody, love for everybody. Somebody has to show people how we get along. And then there's no place better to do it than in a church family and in a small group. The second thing, and I want to ask you to pray about this, is when I heard this news, I quietly behind the scenes, and I didn't even tell anybody because I didn't want the media to get a hold of it, I quietly and privately invited the most influential pastors in America, black pastors, Hispanic pastors, Asian pastors, Middle Eastern pastors, European pastors, white pastors from America to come and meet with me on Monday at Rancho Capistrano for a day retreat of the leading pastors in America to deal with this issue of racism.
Boom. There we go. That's efforts towards it. I appreciate you. To someone, Margaret, in the chat. Thank you. I try. And a lot of things I see, I have it piled up. I'm like, I'm backed up. I got to get some of these live streams out. So I have some more interesting topics. I do tend to have a different take on things. And I'm a person that's not afraid to talk about anything. And it's not to do it in vain or for myself. It's to do it because it needs to be talked about. So I appreciate those that can come in here and see that and appreciate that and know that the numbers are not going to be accurate, and know that if you feel something, it's real because you feel it. I look at our five senses. We got smell, touch, taste, hear. Damn, what's the other one? Tickle me? I don't know. I can't think right now like that. But our five senses, we need something we can feel, because people are coming on here all the time talking and just lying. They're using God's name. So, I mean, what else in God's name can't they use? You know what I mean? So I appreciate people that do appreciate good content because sometimes it gets buried, and sometimes there's weird, all of a sudden things that happen. You know what I mean? But it's not going to stop the truth from coming out. Nothing will. No, my army is too mighty. Even though it's just me, I know I got an army of ancestors, and there's a whole spiritual realm out there that's helping move this thing here. So yeah, so actually there's a piece too that I wanted to show where Roland Martin, who has a channel on here, Martin Unfiltered, he talks highly about politics. But he's also a spiritual man, and he talked with the preacher that I was just showing. So I want to show a little bit of their interview. That would be interesting. And then the other thing, actually, I can get into that right now. There was just some crazy crimes going on too. I do a lot of crimes. So out of the hundreds, sometimes I come on here and show a few. I got to show a few and just like, okay, what would make this stand out from whatever else that they're seeing, or what's something I could show that's kind of entertaining, but something that we can like watch and kind of get something out of also. So there's my thumbnail. I didn't put it on there. I didn't put on the thumbnail today, but I put it in the other thing. All right, just wanted to show something too real quick. Just the craziness that's been going on out here, just really nutty. But let me go into this while I'm putting that up.
We're seeing with what Joe Walsh, a former MAGA congressman, longtime friend of Charlie Kirk, he said absolutely is white Christian nationalism. This is not about Jesus. This is not about what Jesus preached about. This is not about the teachings of Jesus. What this is in essence the moral majority 2.0 on steroids. This is what Paul Weyrich and Jerry Falwell and others wanted to do. And frankly, being a white preacher, I thought it was even more important to hear that from you because too many white preachers have been silent.
Yeah, thanks, Roland. I think it is a
I'm chiming in really quick because it's good what Roland Martin was saying. He's saying it's good seeing other races, good seeing a white man as a preacher speaking on these topics, because sometimes people just have to hear it from a white mouth. It is what it is. I had to chime in, though, and also say that people have complained to me that Black pastors don't speak enough on racism. They don't speak on it at all, and they want to know why. Over time in recent years, there's content creators that have come on YouTube and elsewhere saying they feel it's politically driven. They know, and it's a fact, that there are a lot of Black preachers that get money through politics and things, and it helps keep their churches open. but does it also help them keep their mouths closed when it comes to detrimental topics like racism?
Crucial message that needs to be said right now. And a part of my story, Roland, just so you know, is I came out of that moral majority type movement. My father was a Southern Baptist pastor. I got my undergrad from Jerry Falwell's University, Liberty University. So I am a product of someone who has been raised and conditioned to see the world in a particular way. And then over the years, I begin to evolve, grow up. My own consciousness began to expand. I began to encounter real human beings that were different than me. And in that process, I began to realize that a lot of what I was raised to believe and what I was raised to see Jesus as did not match what I was encountering in the world around me. And it didn't match what I was encountering when I read the scriptures itself, from the prophets in the Old Testament all the way through to this revolutionary, subversive Jesus.
So he hit on it too. I was just about to mention that too. With Jesus Christ, a lot of people are saying, oh, this is a man of color. Actually, he's black. He's a black man. Pastor Dr. Frederick Price mentioned years ago, he's passed away now, but he's mentioned too that if his race doesn't matter, why does it matter if we say he's white? All right, let me get this. Hello? Hello? Okay, let me get you on speaker. Yep, thanks. Yeah, I'm Kiy. Say your name again. I'll put you on. Are you ready to speak live? Or did you want to talk to me real quick or anything? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, for the people that are here, I wasn't sure if the guest was gonna make it, so sometimes that happens. So I appreciate them coming. We have someone that writes rhymes. Is that correct? You
I
do rap music, so he's gonna give us some of what he got. Okay, so if you could introduce yourself, just let us know how you're doing today, and go for it.
Okay.
I didn't catch the name you go by, or at least what you go by. What is the name?
Yeah, let me look at my phone real quick. One second. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, the name I go by is Chabayae 97.
Should okay. I kind of can hear you, just a little muffled.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say the name I go by is Chabayae 97.
Chabayae 97. Okay. I might have to have it spelled out. All right, cool. All right. Okay. So when you're ready, if you all set, or I didn't know if you wanted instrumental in the background or something. I wasn't sure what type of song you were doing if you need anything from me, or if you want to just go for it. Okay. All right. Appreciate you coming through. You got it. I got you on there now.
Okay. This is my first time. What all do I need to do that? I'm not familiar with it.
Well, I have you on speaker, so you're on the live stream. So everything you do, we can be heard.
Okay, so I'll be going to get my phone now.
Yeah, so you could do it now if you're ready now.
Okay.
Okay.
The issue with our generation is that a lot of us were prepared for this thing we call life, and we ask questions to our parents and tell them how childhood affected our minds and cause strife as we strive. But our parents' egos are so high with the honest communication, they take regret as a fault to their mind, and they consider depression as a joke, saying depressing dishes. I mean, it's so ignorant. Might I mention, face clutching from your mind tension. Childhood affects adulthood. Bad times to stay in mood, but we say we all good. Shit, I wish we all would knock on wood and get the truth that needs to be said and understood. I mean, it's like we thrown to the wolves in their video of our confusion and despair of being aware it's hurt in their jewel, neglecting tools, letting us fools. How the fuck we suffering for what they told us in schools? Only God knows the hearts of our generation, seeking saving from damnation, anticipate anxiety, anticipation. We need an antidote for our society participation, sick limitations for previous cursed generations. It's crazy how we work every day to pay for the basics, but end up with less. It's a cycle of stress, because funny enough, our happiness is the most expensive thing that we could possess. That's it.
All right. Appreciate that.
My bad.
So
My
it's
first
like a
time, I'm a
conscious.
little nervous, but hey, I got to work.
Spell your. Let me see if I can get it in here. Spell your name for us, and I'm gonna type it in here.
CHABAYAE 97.
Wait, CHABAYAE. Chabayae.
Chabayae.
Chabayae 97. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Can I do another one?
Yeah, sure. Let me put this up on the screen.
Okay, I was just nervous, so I gotta get used to it.
I'll be nervous too. So you doing something that's coming from the heart and stuff is you know what I mean, not always easy. But once you get it out and keep doing it, you got it. You got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever you're ready, I'll let you go ahead.
Sisters and brothers, keep your head up. If you feel gloomy, remember the bright inside you. Because if you feel like you're chasing shadows, hey, that's okay. That just means that you got light behind you. I feel like if you forget, let me remind you. It's okay to feel like your ship is sinking, thoughts thinking, absurdity ringing, but you wake up every day with your eye beaming, your life you clinging. Please remember when your soul feel mute, keep your heart sinking. Yes, excuse me. They ask you, Javon, why you always worry about struggles and trials? My answer is because we was all born innocent to the real shape was mean. We forgot what it is to smile. Once I ate and slept behind a dumpster, looking at the cosmos and my mind wandered. We exist in a world we have to defend, women having kids, and the government making image they begin. These thoughts I put into a pen, because it's a code on humanity, so the truth is the pen. My oh my, what happened to the unity of kin? I remember when the world felt lighter, people walking down the street smiling, but people walking down the street mean mugging now, forced to be fathers. I want to say what others feel like they can't. And shed the tears on if you less of a man. Drop the tears as you steer closer to your plan. Out the womb, remember whom you alter the tomb. Over the hills, here from the wounds. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll get better with my flow once I get a little more comfortable doing it.
All right. Yeah, next time too. We have to get you back on. And I have a link too, so then that way you can join the panel with the camera and get a little used to having the camera on. But if you really don't want to have it on just yet, you don't have to. But it'll help people see that there's a guest here, which is fine. Having the phone is good, but I think it'll just add to the way I do things. Just at least having another avatar up there showing the other person. But yeah, okay. Chabayae 97. All right. Yeah, so Trell was telling me he knew you from high school. So were you writing back then as well?
I've been writing since I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Oh my goodness.
And then there was like other people was like, with crayons, and I don't know, I just adapted to writing.
Oh wow. Wow.
I do good like that. You do real that, did I do bad or I think it's sort of criticism?
No, you did good. You did good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Yeah. And the words too, I listened to what you were saying. So that's good to hear. And it's like you sound like you want to inspire people. You're aware of what's going on. You're not trying to hide like, oh no, everything's just fine. Like, no, it's not, but it can be, so you're like a positive thinker, but you're a realist. And that's what we need. So I appreciate that. Yeah, you've been writing a long time too. Wow, I'm looking forward then to another time to hear more from you. That would be cool. Yeah, definitely.
My heart was great. It's like when I'm alone, I can flow fluently, but performing, I gotta get, just get used to that.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate his time.
And hey to everybody that can hear me and the people that I can't hear, how y'all doing?
Oh, yeah. And then sometimes with the streams do good, and they're just like all over the place, but you will be heard.
Yeah.
And this is our first time doing this too. But it'd be good to have you on another time too, and it'll be out, we'll have it right. We'll have it even better.
I'll be passing in the meantime, getting used to performing, like when I'm alone, just getting the habit of doing it without feeling nervous. So
okay.
Trail, he'll keep me up there.
All right, cool. Yeah, definitely.
Do I need to move myself while the other people perform?
Say that again.
Do I need to put myself in mute while the fellow poets perform?
Well, actually, we just had you. Trell was gonna do something too, but he might be holding off for now, so he'll probably come back and do that another time because he does help moderate my live streams and stuff. So when he's available, he'll come through. Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate it though. Yeah, maybe even the next time too. I may even have get another person on too that I know writes and try to get something going. Yeah, I appreciate it though.
And what? Okay, I guess I'm confused because on YouTube I'm in the live stream. Do I need to hang up now? And then how does this work?
Yeah, you can hang up because we're just on the phone line. This is an extra business line. No, that's no problem. Thank you. Okay. All right. Peace. So that was all right. Chabayae 97. So he's right. He said he's been writing since he was like 4 or 5 years old. That's pretty dope. Talking about things that people go through and keeping your head up, but being understanding to, what goes on and stuff like that. So that's always good. My channel is about just being really straight up here. So I always appreciate that. That are going on. I think now too that we have more cameras around, of course, we're seeing more things and we just have way more access to things that we just never had before. So I do try to take advantage of that and bring things on here for us to discuss. So it's always appreciated that people do come through and show that they appreciate it. All right, 1 second. I was trying to pull something up. I don't think I'm in the correct folder because I have a playlist all set up. I want to jump into something else that I had, at least show you guys what I have coming up while I work on getting this other video going. Biden, two of his main Black queens, Corinne and Kamala, have been turning on him lately. So I have something coming up where I'm going to show what they've been up to and how that affects things politically. And it's just really interesting turns that's going on with politics, and just the way we're living in America now. So I want to show a highlight of that, and then I will switch over to some crime stuff. But I also want to say too, I don't know if he can hear, but Chabayae, I also keep in mind too that some of the best performers get nervous, have been nervous, have had things happen with them, and you're like, that happened to you? Like, no way. We tend to think other people's lives are just easier or more perfect when it's not the case. So it just takes practice and effort pretty much in anything we do in life. Clip from the Young Turks. I wanted to show this because this has to do with Corinne Pierre comeback tour being a disaster, if anything.
What made you an independent? They were mean to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's your reason?
Now that you are speaking for yourself, Karine, do you have any regrets at all for anything that you said while you were speaking on behalf of this administration?
Look.
It's just it's a simple yes or no. You don't even know.
No, because you're asking for a yes or no question. I want to put some context to it too. I woke up every day. I woke up every day very proud to be the White House press secretary. I woke up every day as a Black woman who is queer, who no one had ever seen someone like me at that podium standing behind that lectern. It was an honor and a privilege to have that job.
Former White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre's book launch.
Sometimes share screening is difficult. So that was Karine Pierre. So that's just a little snippet of how she's just been, looks like they're dragging her now as she's somewhat politely dragging the Democrats and Biden all of a sudden. So I got some of that coming up where I'm going to be showing this coming week, probably tomorrow. I think I'm doing tomorrow. Kamala, how she's selling a book. Corinne, she's selling a book. She got a new look. She usually does the kinky natural curls. Now she got her hair straight. So there's just been some changes going on and changes of political views. And we'll see what happens because now Kamala might be somewhat considering running for president again, possibly. So there's just some things going on with that, with politics. And then on election day, I know I'm going to come. Well, let me go back. Let me show y'all what I have because I have a cool thumbnail for them too coming up for the Biden situation. But yeah, I appreciate that. So we'll have some more people coming up too. People that, just you have a talent, you want to share it. It helps to do it here. It's not always this quiet in here. It's usually more lively. But I can only, I just control what I can and do what I can, whether you guys can see it or not. It's being done. All right, let me see. What did I title it as? So sorry not to even show the thumbnail yet, but I can't. It seems like I can't even find it. Man. All right. Well, okay. Looks like I don't see it. All right. Well, anyway, I got that coming up. So it's just a lot of changes and switching up with these politics. And being that it's Election Day Tuesday, I did want to show how messy the New York City mayoral race has been. I'll give just a little of my views, but it's on other people to go ahead and get out there and vote. Not so much for me. So we got that coming up. Let me find, I really don't know why I can't find this all of a sudden. I had it ready to go. All right. All right, I got it right here. I didn't want to have to type in the word that everybody's so against all of a sudden. The R word, it exists. It's a crime, damn it. This is something that I wanted to share because it was just a very strange, twisted crime. So I just want to get a little segment of crazy crimes. This coming up right here, it has so many twists and turns to it. It's crazy. So we have a dad. And sometimes when I come on here, I'm like, where are the dads at? Like, where's the real stand-up men at? Because to be honest, I don't really be seeing y'all. If I did, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it. I empower Black people here. And you see the support I get back for what I do. So it is what it is. I feel you, Sister Michi X. And the people, I don't know. And then people kind of seem like they get information from you, but then don't mention it. It's very interesting. But we'll go around, come around too. And shout out to Star. So getting into this. This is a dad whose teenage daughter is a minor. She been having intercourse with this grown man in his 20s. All right. So they press charges against him, right? Like a good father would know to do. In return, they turn and try to bribe him. The suspect gets someone else to try to bribe him and someone else, right? It doesn't work. They end up killing the father and then killing the hitman. Let's go.
The man who reported the rape of his own daughter. 3 family members stand indicted for the murder of Corey Warren, who was gunned down after refusing to bribe to drop charges in a sexual assault case. Our Megan Kernan is live outside the Ferguson Police Department, where prosecutors announced indictments just hours ago.
Corey Warren's best friend tells me he was the best person on earth and a great father. His family still hasn't come back home since the killing. And these 3 men are now charged, accused of working together to silence that father, murdering him and then murdering their own hitman.
One of the most senseless acts of violence that I've reached and have seen this year.
Ferguson Police Chief Troy Doyle says Corey Warren's killing was calculated, cruel, and personal. On July 8th, officers say Corey Warren was shot through the glass door of his Ferguson home that you can still see 3 months later.
It's real good, Dad. You know, I couldn't ask for a better neighbor.
Investigators say Warren was shot after refusing a $12,000 bribe to stay quiet about charges against Lavore Harmon, accused of raping Warren's daughter. Prosecutors say Harmon, his uncle Anthony L. Young, and cousin Anthony D. Young coordinated Warren's murder with their associate, Andrew Klaus, who later that same day was also shot and killed. All 3 men now face 2 counts of first-degree murder, armed criminal action, and felonies like statutory rape.
I would have never thought something like this would happen around here.
Neighbor Hugh Deberly was home the day Warren was killed.
Next thing I know, I heard about 4 or 5 gunshots. Then I seen them running across my yard into a car, and they took off. They tried to revive him, and his kids are out there crying.
Warren's neighbors remember him as a devoted dad and friend.
Well, they took a person's life. You know, a person was trying to do right, and they killed him for it. So they should have to pay too.
Prosecutors said this was not being charged as a murder for hire plot, but that could change if evidence points to that. Harmon is held on a $2 million bond in St. Louis County, and the Youngs are in federal custody, also on $2 million bonds each. Live in Ferguson, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
We stream today's 5+ app. You can watch it any.
So then we had a stand-up dad reported that his minor was having intercourse with a grown man. Him and 2 other people get a hitman to take care of him because he didn't accept the $12,000 bribe. I know I had it written down, but I remember it. Was it $12K? I'm gonna back up. Let me get him back up. How you offer a father money so that he'll just be quiet about his own daughter, and now she don't have a father, and then you get a hitman. This is the times we're in. I know we've seen movies like this, and yeah, there's people that sometime end up getting into it. No, these are different times we're in. There were different times before, but now it's things going on that just don't add up. How you kill your hitman? Hold up. How do you kill your hitman when he the one that don't give a what? He don't have nothing to do with the situation. Goes to the father's house, kills him because he could see him in the house. So he stood in the doorway area and shot him through there multiple times. He did that for y'all, and that's how y'all repaid him. Now, did he threaten to tell? Was y'all supposed to do something more for him? It didn't work out? It doesn't make sense. But this is what people got going on these days. They can't even do crimes, right? When you really think about it, it's just a mess. It's a mess. So I showed y'all the thing that I had with Corinne. Got the thing with Corinne, Kamala. I was trying to think of the other one too that I didn't mention that I was gonna put up. Well, anyway, I can save that for another time too, because what I got to do is kind of rewarm. I don't know what else to call it, but I'll call it like rewarming your algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So whether you come on often or not, there's something that's dipping folks. So, you know, let the dip sauce run. So we had that, and oh, let me see before we close out, oh, I forgot when I pin a comment. I don't like that my poll disappeared, so I can't see what you guys voted. But earlier on, there was some votes in, and you guys were saying that yes, you do believe that spiritual religion does have a connection with politics, and I think it is. You're right, and I feel like it's growing more and more. But there's a lot of preachers that are preaching the word, saying this is about the word and the word of God, and we don't need to be adding in or getting confused by adding in our political ideologies. But I'm hoping to those that listen will understand too how important Black theology is. I noticed that was a word that stands out to me by one of the pastors that spoke. When he spoke, he said, "This is our Black ideology." I mean, theology. So Black theology, all theologies have to do with usually uplift some type of I can't get the word out. It's a study, but it's a biblical study. Um Things like that. And we're in 2025, but you just don't hear anyone talking about it and how influential it is with our daily lives. So we're probably going to see more things like that too. I want to show this too. I have something coming up where I'm asking, is Kushner, I'm gonna have to show that, but is Kushner the Antichrist? There's people that have been showing things biblically going on, and I'm seeing that it is looking like it's been taking place just like the Bible shows. So it's just really, really interesting. Oh my gosh. When you try to just get to one thing, all right, before we close out, let me just get this in.
Many things.
All right.
No, accept it. It's true. You're the co-host of Truth's Table, podcast that's been running for many years, very popular public theologian. Welcome to George Fox Talks. So happy to have you here. There's a kind of view of the world that I think I've adopted, not always from the perspective of my faith, but just like because I live in the world and because I'm an American, because I'm who I am, which is very much like, it's this FOMO view, like this view, like this world is what I have.
Yeah.
Like there's that beautiful line, I think it's from a Mary Oliver poem, which is like, what are you going to do with your one wild and precious life? It's so gorgeous, but it also embodies this view, which is like, this is all there is, and this is all I have.
Yeah.
And if I don't get what's mine now, or obviously to people, I'm not getting it. And there's a kind of panic that can come over me sometimes with that. But I think even in this focus on what is unseen, you get more of like this view from like Hebrews about like Abraham and Sarah living in tents. This world was not their home.
Oh yeah,
like that idea.
I was just reading it just yesterday. in Hebrews, just really the hall of faith, and just kind of like,
Hebrews 11,
man,
right?
yeah, Hebrews 11.
Yeah.
And they were waiting for a better country. Like they knew that this place was not their home.
Wow.
And I think that's a particular vantage point that I think for me as a Black woman, I absolutely take to heart and believe every day. I'm like, this place is not my home because I can only be.
All right. So as y'all can see too, there's just a lot of things, more and more conversation finally being brought up. And I do say finally, because like I said, there's other people, and it really was men that have talked to me about religion and race and how they've been disappointed because they don't feel like the Black churches talk about it. They don't talk about it at all. So now we're seeing it. I personally just don't like the fact that it's like you got to get hit upside your head to face it or be honest with it or be willing to talk about it. So, I back my Black men. I really do. And the pastors that are right. But at the same time, I mean, if I was to say y'all are doing so much and doing enough, I'd be lying because you're not, you know. What jumps on my live stream are mostly white pastors speaking against it. Not that there aren't Black ones, but I just don't see them. I ain't blind. I wear glasses. As you see my avatar, I got 4 eyes. I don't see them. So we still have a major problem. We have a major problem with Black men, particularly, and just stepping in their right of being leaders. We're just not seeing it enough. Yeah, Michi X got a channel. Her avatar is very similar to mine too. It's interesting. Twice we both changed our avatars at the same time, and they looked like each other, and we don't know each other at all. So it's kind of interesting. But I know that there's a wavelength too that people can be on together, and I think her and I are, and I'm honored. I am honored. So Oh, real quick, I want to show something before I go. I've talked about this before too. Tro, yeah, I appreciate you a lot too. So his name is Chabayae 97, and he says he's gonna come back on, so I'll get him on another time too. And he'll hit the link that time, he says. So we'll do that. That'll be real good. Yeah, some of the biggest people be nervous. Some still get nervous. Actors, performer, any kind of performer. And we be thinking they're never nervous. They're like, yeah, I be nervous. They said, I still have to prove myself to y'all. They was like, y'all don't understand. We put one album out, back when they said albums or record, right? The next one doesn't mean you're going to like it. So we don't know. We be waiting just like y'all to see the reactions and how it goes. So always remember, everyone else is just as human as you. Just remember that. You know what I'm saying? Just remember that. So with that, I'll tell you to get rid of anything that makes you feel embarrassed. No human being should be embarrassed about anything. Oh, but I tripped and fell. Or, oh, I didn't work out right. Do you know that that's just part of life? You know what I mean? So once we get rid of certain emotions, the success steps in. One more time. Once we get rid of unnecessary emotions, success comes in. It absolutely comes in. It just wants to meet you halfway. A lot of times it just needs to meet you halfway. That's it. That's it. Coming up, I've talked about this, but I'm getting closer and closer to doing my content on it. And I call people out where it's due. I'm a woman. I'm not against men, and I'm not a woman that's against women. There are content creators like that, so you best be careful. Quick, easy way to find this out. A lot of things we deal with at 100%, right? I look at how much percent of your channel do you talk about most? I look at the biggest percentage and I look at what you talk about. That's who you are. With me, anybody can get it that deserves it. So that's just how I roll. And I don't be wrong. I'll be right. So I have coming up, women are the new predators. I've said this before. I've mentioned it a few months back, even over the summer, but I didn't get to it. As I speak, I just saw another article come up where this man is saying women forced him into sex work and all this stuff. I'm telling y'all, I might think I'm playing, but watch when I come on here and do my thing and show y'all who the new predators are. All right. As women, we're very docile. We're looked at as being, oh, not her. No, men are monsters. No, it's just the guys. No, it's the women too. It depends on who helped raise her into a monster. It depends on, did she let the monster in? Demonic spirits is a spiritual thing. You can be a monster. Your environment, how you grew up, can make you a monster. You can just give up on things and say, hey, I'm just tired of this life. I'm just going to be a monster. You get to become one. To me, that's the easy way out, though. We all have free will, whether you believe the Bible or not. We all got free will. For the most part, it's just free will. I want to show this clip that just came across my site that has to do with a woman. And I'm bringing it up because I don't think y'all realize what's going on here. When I say the world has been like turning upside down, it has been in so many different aspects. I'm also going to be showing y'all how wildlife is decreasing. You're not seeing as many birds. You probably haven't noticed, but if you're on the East Coast, we're losing birds. We're losing our wildlife. I talked about this 4 years ago and no one saw it. 10 people probably watched the video where I showed dead fish on the shore. I showed it on video. I'm going to bring all that back up and I'm going to show y'all when I talked about it and why there's biologists and scientists just now talking about it. And it's 2025. Rock with me because I'm going to show y'all stuff early before it gets big. Little clues on things. I bring it on here and say, hey, look at this. What y'all think about this? Come on now. They're not going to show and tell. So we going to do it. Let me show y'all this real quick. Let's watch it together because I haven't seen it. Bros.
To sex work.
Court records backing up the victim's story, and he's sharing it.
It says two women kidnapped him at gunpoint and forced him into sex work.
Court records backing up the victim's story, and he's sharing it only on 13. ABC 13's Luke Jones is live at the Harris County Jail detailing those 6 days of terror, Luke.
Yeah, and what a terror it was. So far, the only charges are aggravated kidnapping, but this man says in reality, he was really the victim of sex trafficking. Masterminded, he says, by a woman who called herself Cookie, operating out of a North Harris County motel.
Like, it was really ghetto. It was scary.
A young man who still shudders when he thinks about all he endured.
He said it was really
For
ghetto.
almost a week, he says he
Wait,
was
that's
held
not a boy,
captive in a
is
room
it?
at the
Is it a
Regency
man?
Inn on
Okay,
Cypress
that's a
Station near
man.
FM 1960. Forced, he says, to have sex for money.
Strip out of our clothes.
We're blurring his face to protect his privacy.
It was a lot of crackheads, like a lot of them, like a lot of sketchy homeless people.
A life, he says, he never imagined for himself. One the Harris County Sheriff's Office says he was sucked into October 18th. That's when they say one of the victim's friends, Esmeralda Pena, invited him to the Regency.
She said that she had a job for me, like she was gonna help me make some money because I didn't have a job.
Once here, he says he was introduced to this woman, Herbanique Forrest. Although when they met, he says she went by a different name.
Her name was
Now, hold on a minute. Let me get another sip. First of all, her name should be Dookie. What you mean her name was Cookie? Girl, this just came out too the other day. I didn't see this. I'm watching this right along with y'all. Man says women kidnapped him and forced him into sex work, and they got court documents. If I pulled up anywhere and saw her, let me just finish going. What did you use for your edges? Like motor oil? What is going on here? They went too far when they came out with lace fronts because they got everybody thinking that they're supposed to just plop it on their head, make fake baby hair any kind of way, and go on out the house with your bad self when your natural hair looks way better than that too. But I forget, you know, people that got low self-esteem because it's been taught, you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell him nothing. She looks totally out of it. He looks like a young man. Maybe I missed it. How did they even kidnap? I'm gonna finish this, and I'm
Cookie, he says, quickly said about signing him up for an escort site and told him he'd have to have sex with men for money. The next day, he says he saw an opportunity to escape and returned home. But just 4 hours later, deputies say a doorbell camera shows Pena and Forrest at the victim's front door, this time with an armed man. Investigators say they and Nixon Simmons forced him into a car at gunpoint.
Cookie started beating me, and she was like, "Don't I ever leave again? Like if I ever."
Wait a minute. What is going on? Happy Halloween. No, well, happy Halloween to you. What is going on here? Happy Halloween to you too. Are you serious? You kidnapping men? With no mask. Why would you need one? I don't get in on people, but I'm going to go in on them because I have to. See, these days, like I said, women are the new predators. Now, sometimes they got big pimp daddy somewhere stanking, telling them what to do. Maybe he waves a gun once in a while. Because they use the influence of women. We are the mass manipulators. But excuse me, happy Halloween. Where did he get these hoes from? Wait a minute. Are you serious? This is a man then. This is a man. Before I was hesitating to say, you know, somebody's gender, but every time I do that, it be a man. And I don't be want to say nothing because I'm not trying to call a woman unattractive. If that's the way she looked, that's her right. But they be men. Wait, I got to burp anyway. I'm going on mute. I'm going to finish it.
Cookie started beating me, and she was like, "Don't I ever leave again? Like if I ever leave, like she'll blow my brains out."
For the next 6 days, he says he was beaten, plied with drugs, and deprived of food. At night, he says he was expected to solicit men in this Ross parking lot, although he says he only ever slept with one.
I knew that if I made them money, they would keep making me work for them. They would keep me around. So I just tried not to sleep with anybody.
Even so, he says the experience left him drained, and at one point, hoping Forrest would make good on an earlier threat.
Like a couple of days in, I kind of wanted her to kill me. Like I told her to kill me, like just get it over with.
In the end, he says it was his aunt who saved him. October 24th, he says he was able to text her using a phone he'd hidden from his captors, and that she picked him up during one of those nights out in the Ross parking lot.
I was just like, yeah, this is not a good place to be at.
Wait, somebody said he lying. Who in the chat saying he lying? You was there? I hope happy Halloween. Is you one of them Chicks, or you pimp daddy in the chat? How you know he lying? Or is it more to the story? Could be. Happy Halloween. I wish I would have motor oil slick down the side of my edges. My edges be acting funny, but I wish I would. I be arguing with my hair sometime. A lot of time my hair wins. I pick my battles. So a lot of times I win because I'm going to tell you what we doing today. Natural Africana girl, yes. But you not going to, my edges be trying to tell me what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we could do that. But when I want you to do something, that's what you're going to do. Motor oil. Slapping a wig on and some lashes, and y'all, you know what? I'm gonna blame guys, because y'all the ones that got these chicks out here thinking that when they come out the house, we're not gonna play these games. Y'all got these women thinking that if they do the top and bottom lash, because this person right here got the bottom lash done, they wasn't playing around. And that's an ultra bottom lash. I've never seen lashes probably that long on the bottom of somebody's lid in my life. Y'all got them out here thinking that this is cute. You know what I'm saying? Who else did it? They making money. They like, we trying to make this dough. Any hair better than my own hair. So we're gonna put these wigs on, okay? Or you never took them off, it looks like, and you just head out the door. I'm starting to feel like it's not really their fault. Y'all are tripping. No. All right, let's finish this out. Happy Halloween. No, but I honestly feel for them, because I personally think, just by listening to this, that this is a young man that was lost already, because people don't just get picked up and put into trafficking, usually as an adult and usually as a man. A lot of males that you find that are sex trafficking, they're gay. And I'm saying that because it's the truth. And what they do is they can use their bodies for not only men that are out there, but down low men. Down low men need to keep it down low. Usually prostitutes don't talk. They want that money talk. So that's why the streets are always going to be flooded to an extent with traffickers. Males be out here trafficking. Most male prostitutes, I've called it out a few years ago, they're gay. They're not straight. So even if a woman orders a prostitute and it's a man, I don't know what to tell you, because most of them, they're gay. They're in this for other kind of reasons. A lot of times hetero men, they do not make money off of selling themselves. They'll make money off of lying to you, using you, but not selling their bodies.
Only ever slept with one.
I knew that if I made them money, they would keep making me work for them. They would keep me around. So I just tried not to sleep with anybody.
Even so, he says the experience left him drained, and at one point, hoping Forrest would make good on an earlier threat.
Like a couple of days in, I kind of wanted her to kill me. Like I told her to kill me, like just get it over with.
In the end, he says it was his aunt who saved him. October 24th, he says he was able to text her using a phone he'd hidden from his captors, and that she picked him up during one of those nights out in the Ross parking lot.
I was just like, yeah, this is not a good place to be at.
And the victim says he wasn't the only one forced to do this. One of the suspects, Esmeralda Pena, also beaten and made to walk the streets, he says. Right now, this case still under active investigation.
You know what, too, to the person in the chat, what do you go by, C? You know what? Everything you just said in the chat, I think the reporter feel the same way. You see how he got like a smirk at the end, like, I'm reporting this, but yeah, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something left out of this. And if you're a prostitute, no, you might have one lay an hour. What you mean you only messed around with one dude once? So he's either uncomfortable with his orientation, his sexuality, so he wants to downplay it. If you was getting down for the get down, he was doing all kind of stuff. You bending, whether you the top or the bottom, you sucking. You know what I'm saying? You're doing these things, bro. Like, you're either going to make money or you're going to get up out of there. And even the reporter said, he says he's only engaged one time. She said, yeah, I figured if I brought him some money and I hung around, you know, they would be all right with me. What are you talking about? No, you're supposed to be making money. No, your slender body is supposed to be over there making money. What you talking about? So yeah, it's more to it than what's going on. And that's the thing too with alphabet community. Most of them are runaways. Most of the alphabet community's youth, or at least a lot of them, I don't have the statistics in front of me right now, so I try to be very accurate with things. Um, they're usually runaways and they go sleep wherever they can. And people tend to get them from homelessness, but they're using their bodies. You know what I mean? So there's that. Um, and a stigma on being treated and looked at a different way if you come out as gay. He never said what he's into. He just said what he did, and he only did it one time. Because he probably don't really want people to know. But one more time for the reporter. I don't know. The way he was looking looked like he wasn't really buying the whole story either.
And the victim says he wasn't the only one forced to do this. One of the suspects, Esmeralda Pena, also beaten and made to walk the streets, he says. Right now, this case still under active investigation. Live downtown, Luke Jones, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
He ain't buying it, just like you're not buying it. He ain't buying it. Just but you know how oh yeah, I've got that on now too. He I like how they threw in there, yeah, and he wasn't the only one. There's somebody else over there too, getting it in and bending over and sucking and licking. Hold up, we talking about you, sir. Now, unless you're gonna help this other victim, ain't no need to really throw it out there like that. Cause you're throwing it out there like that. Wait, everybody throwing it out there like that? Yes, you get paid to throw it out there like that. Physically. Gotta love it. When people get caught up in something, whether they're able to sway us to think it's one way or the other, if you notice it, they like to throw other people in there. Like, well, let me just make sure y'all know I wasn't the only one out here hoeing. You know what I'm saying? Or I mean, kidnapped and forced to be but I only slept with one guy, and that kept them good. I figured I could get through Thanksgiving or something. Thanksgiving is a month, a few weeks. Yeah, I thought that was, how we do it. No, it's not. So we'll have more to come. Figuratively, literally, figuratively. I got some things that I got them stacked. So I got a nice little playlist for us to just look at some of the mass manipulation that's going on, and it's coming from women, but it's a easy way of doing it because they're a woman and we don't look at them in certain ways. But we just got to be more careful these days than probably ever before, and that's all to it. So I'm gonna be bringing it on here and hope to see y'all back. It was good seeing Chabayae. I don't hope I don't say his name wrong because it was a little muffled at first, but I did write it out. He came in early and did some lyrics for us, so that was nice to see and nice to hear. Here we go. Chabayae, yeah, 9-7. So that was an artist guest that we had come in earlier. He will be back at another time, so I'm looking forward to that. And if you're new or if you're coming back and haven't already, please consider to subscribe, like, it's an open chat. Also, so I always invite other people's opinions on things. However, it's invited here, helps the live stream and helps us just hear each other out. Excuse me, I got a little indigestion going on. So we got that. And I'll wrap it up later in the week. I wanted to talk about the closing charges or the conviction of Julio Fulio suspect. They got the guys already, so then they got the girl, Alicia Andrews. So she just got a guilty charge for manslaughter, which I would have given her to. She either would have got first degree murder or second degree murder, manslaughter or not guilty. I would have given her manslaughter also because she was an accessory to the crime. She definitely had something to do with the crime. She has no remorse in court. She's not learning her lesson. She has to do some time. I would personally, well, as a judge, I would give her 5 to 10, mandatory 5. She has a child that sucks, but obviously you're not a parent that wants to raise the child. You're busy chasing behind gang members. And they started to fold on each other too, because she's saying she was the victim. So again, master manipulation. So I'm gonna show some of that during the week. I will show signals and symbolism that I saw in the courtroom, and I didn't hear anyone else talk about it, so I'm gonna bring it on here. Also, one of her attorneys was getting really mouthy with the judge, so they had a big back and forth too. They wasn't getting along, so there's that. I'll put Lil. I meant to say LOL. All right, never mind. He looks like he's about to start laughing. Yeah, like the dude was reporting on it, like he had a smirk, like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? If you a YN out here living your best life in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Or it's best at night, worse in the day. I don't know. But, don't lie about it. But for him to go to this extreme, it sounds like he possibly was interested in selling himself. But he probably was like, if he either changed his mind or something wasn't right with the way they were doing deals, they street deals. And that's why they came to his house to force him to engage. It's like, that's a grown man. You know what I mean? He's skinny and everything. That's still a grown man. You can't just, you kidnapping grown men off the street and pimping them out. That's what's going on. That's strange. Very strange. All right. I think I caught most of what you guys had in the chat. So, right. He don't want to admit he's slanging his butt. Right. Right. But it's like, what's making him admit it now is what I'm wondering. Like, what's making him admit it now? Something went down or it got too rough and violent. So he was just like, man, look, I got to get out of this game. And I'm just about to say they was, took me up off the streets. Like, all right. But okay. That was a live stream for today. I showed you guys what was going on and how pastors are speaking out now, at least about racism. And it's more like they're versing MAGA. But there's finally Black pastors speaking on just the topic of racism, which, like I said, Pastor Frederick Price spoke on very early on. When I was young, I used to listen to his teachings. They were on cassette tapes. And I would listen, and extremely notable pastor. Yes, I was trying to get to something real quick too. I feel like I didn't really show any Black pastors, but again, that's part of why, because some are saying stuff, some aren't. Oh yeah, I did show one in the beginning. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I just really had to make sure. Also, with the death of Kirk, a lot of people have been speaking out more and more. I particularly want to. I'm not looking to just go towards his name and, oh, what are people saying bad about Kirk, or what did he say bad? The man is dead. You know what I'm saying? Certain people want to keep their legacy going, but it's interesting to me that it took one man to really get everybody talking more. Sometimes it takes a person. It doesn't matter if you like them or not. It matters, are they grabbing your attention and shaking you up a bit and damn near forcing you to speak out and speak up. I want it to be a time where we speak up and speak out about things because we know they exist, not when they're uncovered, not when they're more blatant, but do it because you know it exists. Stop feeling like one man is the end all be all. Oh, Trump is just the worst. When he goes, things will be better. Obama was the worst. He's gone, things are better. It's not about one man. That's what y'all not understanding. These same spirits are in other people too, the same way of thinking. So if you want to do right, you want to be a voter, just try to vote for the right person. And if you can't vote either way, maybe that other option is to not vote at all. But we need more people in office, or at least running for office, that get it. And I think we're just forced to choose between people when we don't really agree with totally of any of them that they've been serving us. So we'll see. Hopefully by the next election time, we might even see more political parties, or at least an extra one independent or something. I mean, we'll see. But that's basically what I wanted to show. I'll show some more of Frederick Price too.
Because racism is running rampant in the church. It always has been from day one. Nobody has ever really challenged it or dealt with it. We give a little lip service to it now and then, but then we let it go on just as though it was supposed to be. Well, it's over, and it's going to be challenged, and when we finish, as I said in another message, that when this series is over, you'll have to go to your graves with what you have heard. You'll never be able to again sleep at night without remembering the words that were said to you. And you're going to be held accountable for those words, and you're going to face God Almighty and Jesus Christ at the throne, and you're going to have to give an account as to why you didn't do something positive about what you heard. Okay? Now, last time, and so I told you why I did the things that I did. I gave you a couple of scriptures. We talked about the fact Paul said, I've become all things to all men that I by some means or by all means I might win some. And then Jesus said, I came to seek and to save that which is lost. And so God has given me this commission to do so because there are many, say many. Say many. Say many. Unfortunately, there are many black people in America that are lost.
So that's a fact. And if you can just fathom that these recordings were from the early 90s and the 80s, it's 2025, same message, just as relevant as it was years ago. This is Pastor Jamal Bryant. I want to see what he's saying here. I don't trust him.
An emergency meeting of all of the generals. All of the generals in our community need to come together under one roof. The heads of the Divine Nine, the heads of the Black professional organizations, the presidents of HBCUs, the heads of those historic civil rights groups, the heads of a community organization.
So, they're not all, he's on his third wife. And I just feel like Pastor Jamal Bryant's movements are for himself and not for the people. He's been talking about nobody did a party for him and he's done so much work and stuff. He said that like over a year ago, but he's got some of his heart in the right place. But I'm still one that I just look at what you're doing and how you do it. Just because you have a cloth doesn't mean you may be the right leader. So I'm also showing, not at all am I saying if you're a black pastor, you're just great. I wish I could say that, but no, you got to fill them out. But like I just showed with Frederick Price, he said it's a lot of black people, a lot of people are just lost. So we'll see. I'll see y'all back at another time. I have some more things to show. I didn't even do none of my memes. I'll just do them going out then. That's interesting. All right. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Brother Trell. All right, y'all. Peace.
Praise him like he never prayed before. If he made a way, shout hallelujah. If he turned it around, shout glory. If he opened doors, shout amen. He provided for you. Shout yeah, 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 yeah. I'm convinced he was ebony black and gorgeous. If you're one of those people that you got problem with black people or whatever, you better shut your mouth. Because they're God's people. You better hear what I'm saying to you. You better shut your mouth. You better shut your white mouth. You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you. Kiy NY7. Kiy NY007. Shout out Kiy NY007. Man of God. Man of God. Man of God. Here, let me tell you this. The Bible say, lay hands on no man. You're more than welcome. Man of God. Lay hands on no man's son. Satan, the Lord rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Every demon, I say you devil. I say you devil.